was just kind of like when we were.
Well, yes, but there is a second one, Alexandros.
There's a second.
You guys, I blew Alexandros' mind. Also, hello. But I blew Alexandros' mind just now because he had no idea that there was a second Serpent and the Wings of Night book.
I was so excited for the second one. But I'm like, I can't wait to read
There's not only a second one, there's also a novella.
I thought she was lying about that.
No, he literally was like, you're actually lying to me. And I said, how dare you call me a liar? I'm speaking only the truth.
I literally finished the book at like 1 a.m. and I was like, oh, all right, I guess I'm excited for the next one to be.
What did you read it on?
Just on my phone.
Because I read it on Kindle Unlimited and the beginning of the second book is on it. Not for you?
I might have stopped swiping once.
Okay. He said swipe or no swipey.
Oh. Yeah. Hey there, everyone. Anyway, welcome to the Smut Couch.
Welcome. I'm Maddy.
I'm Alexandros.
Period. First of all, I just wanted to say another thank you to everybody. Why are you giggling?
I'm still thinking about how shocked I was that there was a second one.
You would have thought that I told him like the craziest thing in the world. Yes, it's out.
We should have been recording
something
earlier.
Ash
all right.
and the something Ash. I don't know. King Ash something.
King Ash catch him. He's gonna catch them all.
Well, yes. I want to say thank you though. Thank you. Can I speak? Just kidding. Thank you for listening and commenting. We got like some really kind messages this past week on like YouTube and stuff, telling us to keep going, and that is just like so kind.
Thank you, Dramione community.
Thank you, Dramione. You guys always truly come through. But I do want to say, so we have a goal. Our goal is to hit 10K followers on Instagram or TikTok. I'll take anything. Before my birthday, which is March 25th.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that is very doable. So if you like us, follow us everywhere and tell your friends. If you're in a book club, tell all of them. And please, let's make it happen for my birthday.
Please, it's for her birthday, guys.
It's for my birthday.
It's her birthday. Come on. Let's do it.
Anyways, thank you. Woo! Appreciate y'all. Also, we have to talk about something else before we begin.
Okay.
Today was a big day.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh my gosh, today was a big day.
So, for those of you who are familiar with the Sarah J Maas world, she just posted the first 2 chapters of Crescent City 3 today. House of Flame and Shadow.
You guys. I'm so glad because what's the date today? It's the 25th, and I'm just like la-da-da doing my stuff, and Alexandros texts me, Crescent City 3, and I'm like, what?
And I read it so fast while eating my sandwich this morning.
The really sad thing is that I'm not finished yet. I'm halfway through the first chapter. I know. I didn't have time. I had to be here, and I was on time.
I just showed up late. Yeah.
Well, yes.
There you go.
You guys, I'm so excited.
It's super hyped again, and now I have to wait 5 more days for the next one, and that's the only thing I'm upset about, you know. And
I know,
but I shouldn't be mad, you know.
No, we got a crumb. We got a little taste. Thank you, Sarah.
Like little Oliver Twist, please. May I have
some more? Truly. But once again, I face the problem I always have, where I have the memory of a goldfish. Is when it comes to reading. I don't know. In one ear, out the other. So I truly am like reading, and I'm like, oh God, I can't really remember. Besides, like, the thing that happened at the end of
the best part,
right? But I'm like, wait, what happened with Rune? What happened with Lydia? What happened? I'm like, these names I don't remember, so I'm gonna have to like sit down and
do a quick little
like
spark
skim
notes
or like spark something because I'm like, girl, I can't recall.
I'll just mansplain it to you.
I would expect.
I'll just keep
literally
the mic here. We'll
less.
turn everything off, and I'll just give you the brief synopsis again.
Okay, I'll take it.
Anyway, that brings us to today's episode of The Serpent and the Wings of Night. And apparently there's a sequel out there that I should start reading
and a
after
novella.
This episode. Oh man, I'm kind of upset that I didn't know that.
I can't believe you didn't know.
I didn't know because I'm gonna be honest with this one. I didn't really like it that much until the end. Until the end, I was like, all right, I want to read the next one because the entire time throughout this, I was like, I'm not feeling the love interest. Miss Girl is kind of not doing anything unique right now.
Unique? Yeah.
Then
I can see what you mean. I think the beginning of it felt almost Fourth Wing, which I know y'all like Fourth Wing, and I don't not like Fourth Wing. It's very fun. Have you read that?
I've read Fourth Wing.
Okay. Oh yeah, duh. Of course you have. He reads everything before me. But I felt like it's very Fourth Wing esque. I can't speak in the way where it's like it's just trope after trope.
Yeah.
And it's almost, I mean, it's like fun to read and it's entertaining.
Yeah.
But there's nothing new happening. You know what I mean? It's like everything I've kind of ever read before, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
It can be done in like good ways, though. I feel like for most of this, I was just kind of reading, waiting for the next thing to happen.
Yeah.
Essentially, I think it's just because this might be, some people might be living for this. Like you were kind of living a little bit while you were reading it.
Yes, I am a vampire girl.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, your Twilight stan life.
Oh, there's one thing about me everybody knows. I'm a twihard.
Mhm.
So I was living for like anything vampires. I'm going to be so down bad, like truly. But I do understand how it's kind of like sometimes I'd be so into it. I'd be like, and then sometimes I'd be like,
it's like, okay, where are we going with this?
Yeah.
All right, you're Batman now. All right.
Well, yes. I know. Yeah, I did very much enjoy it though. I did, but I
enjoyed it at the end, which we'll get to
the
climax. For those of you who have read it, that twist at the very end made me realize something about myself. So that's why I will say that I enjoyed it, because it made me come to terms with who I am.
Okay, who you are. Yeah. Come on, self-discovery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, should
my favorite trope, I think, was revealed to me when I found the pattern recognition.
Okay, thank you, Carissa, for that.
Yeah.
Okay, should we kind of go through?
Let's go through it.
Once again, I can't remember anything, so
I'll try. Unfortunately,
we're gonna both try our best because we both had a week.
We know the best parts.
We know the best parts.
Yeah,
and we know the characters. And I did finish it yesterday, so I do remember. But
all right.
Anyways,
so we start off with a lovely little girl named Araya.
Araya, which I love that name.
It was a good name. Mm-hmm. She's just a little human girl, little small bean in
small. These romantasy books love to be like, she's so small.
Oh my gosh,
she's so tiny. Little. She's so fragile and little.
Muscular winged man that's gonna be standing next. Whoa, abs like a brick wall. Okay.
Yes, always. Oh, that's so fourth wing coded too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm just getting tired of that. And he's giant, and she's little.
She's little. Yeah, like come on.
Maybe I just wish that that's how people would describe me, just massive man.
I mean, you're tall.
That's all I got going for me.
Okay, anyways. So, yeah, she's a little human girl, and okay, so doesn't something happen with like?
Yes, so she is taken in after her family is killed by a vampire attack. Yes. So vampires rule in this world essentially. Humans are kind of like livestock for the most part, just kind of trying to crawl on by it without being seen.
Yes.
She is picked up by the king of the House of Night, a man by the name of Vincent. Vincent.
That's a good name.
I was kind of like, all right, that kind of took me out of it. I don't know. I feel like
why? Because it's a normal name?
Yeah, I feel like I just know a guy.
I feel like I know Vincent.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Like
that's Rain,
true.
But
there is something like menacing about the name Vincent. If your name's
Ibrahim Vincent.
Misha.
Okay, Misha. All right.
Yeah. Rain. Are you kidding me?
Balance.
Let the rain fall down. Yeah.
Which song?
That's Hilary Duff. Anyways.
All right. Yeah. So she, of all the Rain songs, that wasn't one that popped into my head.
How about Rain on Me, Soon on Me, Hands Up to the Sky?
You said Rain on Me. And I was like,
well, yes.
Okay. God, we are all over the place with this one today. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Don't apologize.
Okay. You're welcome.
Well, yes.
Yeah. So she's taken in by the king of the House of Night, who's kind of like, intrigued by her, I guess.
Yes.
These answers might be revealed in the second one, but I wish I could say
there's something about her. There's something about her.
She's not like other girls.
She's not like other humans.
And she kind of like is like fighting back, and Vincent's like, "That's cute. You're coming. You're home mine. With me.
Yeah, you're coming home with me."
And he kind of just picks her up and then starts to raise her as his daughter. So she's spent her life growing up in a world of vampires as a human,
and she's like the princess of the House of Night.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's her like unofficial title. Right. People say like kind of mockingly.
But she's like the human, so she
like everyone thinks that the king is just like using her as a quote unquote plaything.
Yeah,
sorry,
but
it's
a little spooky.
That's not it at all. He's literally just like a dad to her.
Yeah,
like helping her survive. He trained her how to fight and was basically giving her the hard truths of the world of like people want to eat and kill you.
Yeah,
that's the truth of this.
So. Obviously, she's grown up kind of like hardened by this. Mm-hmm. She's like, I'm a bad bitch, don't fuck with me kind of a girl.
Yeah.
Which I live.
My little daggers. Mm-hmm. And so we first see her as a 23-year-old, I think. Yeah, she's 23. And she's really living her best Batman life.
Vigilante.
Down through the slums of the human districts, killing any vampires that are like...
I need an edit of her and like vigilante shit. by Taylor Swift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's on her vigilante shit.
She's just going around killing these vampires because the vampires are expecting like easy prey.
Yeah, she's going after people, the vampires who are like going after like
the people
like what you just said. Yeah. Like not every vampire, but she's going after like the ones who are like, I don't like you.
Because technically the humans are in a quote unquote protected district.
Yeah, but they're still
don't be eating them here, guys. They need to breed a little bit.
Yes.
And it's like, no, I'm drunk and hungry. I'm gonna go kill them. So she's sitting there like, I'm gonna chop off their wings and stab them in the heart.
And it's pretty slay.
She does that.
I do. This book is pretty gruesome.
It is. Yeah.
That's something that I kind of liked.
Yeah, no, I'm always down for graphic violence.
It was no, for real. I was like, oh my god.
That's why we like Manacled, you know? That's why we're like, oh yeah, sure, yeah. Chop off arms, heads, just in general. Yeah, go for it. Mm-hmm.
It was wild. I was kind of shocked by it.
Things were going pretty hard.
Yeah.
So she does that, and then she's sneaking on back in. She has a little human friend that she's been meeting with who's like
Alana.
A volunteer blood donor.
Yeah, they're volunteer blood donors.
She's
crazy.
Like, I go to the parties, and they drink from me like at the thing, and like sometimes we die, sometimes we don't.
Yeah, and she's like, she like helps take care of her. It's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So they're the epitome of like, hey guys, should we unionize? Just because there's little blood bags walking around. It's like, hey, we decided that maybe we shouldn't be eating nonstop, and like maybe we should get like some break days. And the vampires are like, we'll just kill you. And they're like, oh, word, never mind, we don't need that.
Yeah, very that.
So yeah, basically, Araya is planning to enter this 100-year tournament to be like, hey, the goddess Nyaxia will be watching.
Yeah, she's like the goddess of like death or something
and
like
night
that. And she's like she's like the goddess of vampires.
Because she made them all pretty much.
Yeah, and she like had this crazy life, which I think is what the novella is about. Is her going through all of these trials with her like love, something about that.
Yeah,
and
that's what the trials are represented in this book.
Right. There's a trial that it's basically the Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. All right. Yeah.
It's basically the Hunger Games. But it kind of leans more the first Throne of Glass.
Yeah.
You know?
I would say.
Where it's like the trial, the tributes, and the person who wins gets a favor from the Queen Nyaxia. Or like whatever they want.
Anything within her power to grant, and she can pretty much grant anything.
Anything, yeah.
So that's actually how our boy Vincent became the king, is because he wished for the rival bloodline to essentially lose their powers so that he could take over, and he did that. So there are two separate houses, essentially, in this house of vampires, and the other ones have been oppressed for the last 200 years while Vincent's been king.
Yeah.
Down.
Also, another note about it is that the vampires are like super brutal to each other also.
Yeah.
Like if they'll kill anyone in their family in order to get power. They'll like slaughter each other.
Yeah. So like when a vampire has a kid that like might be like too powerful, they'll cripple them intentionally.
Yeah.
You know, killing vampires is kind of like frowned upon for the most part. Like, no, you shouldn't be killing each other, but you can break their legs, chop their wings off, and like break their teeth and everything. So they can never do anything.
Yeah, it's wild.
All right. So she's gonna enter it with her dad's blessing too, of like, yeah, you know, I want you to be strong, and she wants to become like kind of soul bonded to him in a way that it's like, so that she can use his immense power that he has, because like he walks through and like he is that guy, he's him essentially. Like nobody fucks with this the king because he's that powerful.
Yeah,
he's been ruling pretty solidly for 200 years, and so she wants to be able to go back to where she was found and like maybe like see if she has any family left, and like he'll let her do that because he can't go into those territories right now because of political reasons. Drama. So she enters it.
She does.
And, you know, it's a good time for the most part until, you know, you gotta, how does it happen? Oh yeah. So she God, I'm so tired right now, guys. I'm so sorry.
You're doing great. She
cuts her hand open and like makes an offering to the goddess to enter the tournament. And they're like, cool. At the full moon, it should begin, or some type of moon phase. I don't know. Each of the book is broken apart in moon phases. I didn't pay attention in science in 7th grade, so I don't know.
It's okay. That's a little
what the moon phase. I know crescent moon and new moon is what those ones.
Do Twilight.
Oh, okay.
Ugh, lost on him.
It is wasted. Somebody out there is going to enjoy it.
And tell me that you did, please.
So she enters it, and they're like, cool, in like 2 days it'll be starting. There you go. And then she goes to bed that night, wakes up on a cold, hard floor, and it's begun. And she's like,
yeah, they like dump them in there.
Sometimes they start earlier.
Yeah, it's kind of
that would have been nice to know. So the first, the entry isn't really around so much as it's just a bloodbath. Like, whittle down the competition.
Just kill as many people as possible.
It happens in this thing called the Moon Palace. So she wakes up on the ground there, and she hears humans screaming. She's like, "Oh no, I recognize one of those screams. It's her girl, Ilana. And she's trying to book it, but then a hand grabs her and is like, they're already dead.
Drama.
And so she stabs the knee that hand belongs to, I guess, and runs away anyway. And the guy who she stabs goes, fuck. That hurt.
Yeah.
That sucked. She runs on down. Ilana is dead.
Rip girl.
Ripped apart. People are still attacking, so she runs and hides in a greenhouse that's outdoors. Mm-hmm. So when the sun comes out, she's kind of safe inside.
Oh, yeah.
She kind of hides out there.
You know, vampire's son, it's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm. They don't like each other.
Mm-hmm. These ones don't sparkle.
No, they don't sparkle. They just kind of sizzle.
They go.
It's gonna. Mm-hmm. They cook.
They cook. Yeah.
In more ways than one. But that's Rain. I keep saying and
Well, maybe don't.
Don't. Okay.
It's okay. I've had to work on my period. You work on the Yeah, we're growing. We're gonna get better. Yeah.
I
wish I could
hides out in the. We gotta do a little sleigh counter.
Yeah. No, I haven't been saying it, you guys. Have you guys noticed?
So good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been working hard on it. Mm-hmm. Anyways, there's also eventually a dinner or something.
Yeah. So she survives the first night.
Yeah.
She walks on down, and on her way down to the dining room, she sees one of the vampires kind of slumped over, kind of drunk on blood and stuff like that, and she recognizes a scarf in his hand is Ilana's that she had. Mm-hmm. So she stabs him while he's asleep, and then goes down to the dinner.
She's so cool.
There it is.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
She goes down there. Everyone's eating food, drinking blood, having a good time. Her dad's there.
Daddy's there.
He's there good job. That's my girl. Yeah. Supportive
girl.
Parent.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
And who does she see across the room?
Some guy with wings.
And red hair.
Oh my gosh.
He's
he's tall,
yeah,
handsome, built like a brick wall. And he's not being nice to her, but he does have a bandaged leg from where someone stabbed him the night before. Interesting.
Our friend Taylor, she ran up to me. She's like, Maddy, I'm reading the book. She goes, the love interest. Oh, well, this guy. Not to.
It's an enemies to lovers, and there's a guy who might be an enemy.
They're like, she's literally vampire Jamie Fraser. Are you familiar with Outlander at all?
I'm familiar with it. Is Jamie Fraser the main guy?
Yeah. The
okay.
redhead. Yeah. Just hot. So that's where I was the whole time.
Mm-hmm. You were just picturing Outlander?
Hot redhead.
That's good.
Yeah.
And he's out there doing his old swaggering thing.
Hot redhead.
Oh.
There he is.
Look at that guy. We were going to get that. Look at him.
That's kind of giving Henry Cavill, is it not?
I think every single fantasy novel.
They do give Henry Cavill. Yeah. It's just in different hair.
I saw this one video that was live action fan casting all of ACOTAR, and every single male character was just Henry Cavill in a different
wig.
Yeah,
it's giving that.
So, yeah, that happens. Some guy gets mad. He's like, someone killed my brother right outside these halls. And Oria's like, no, that was me.
Yeah.
Kind of wanted to claim credit, but also want to sneak in the shadows.
Yeah.
So then this guy, who we figure out his name is Rain, kills that brother and is like, all right, well, you were being annoying. Haha.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And then, the first trial starts shortly after that.
Yes.
And it's
what was the first one?
maze? Was it? No, the maze wasn't the first one.
No.
What was the first trial?
I don't remember.
I do not remember the first trial for the
there's a trial. People died, and it was gruesome. And
the maze was the first trial. Yes, so the maze is the first trial, I think.
Yeah.
But she gets attacked beforehand.
Yeah.
They're just getting ready for the next, because you have to team up with somebody in there.
She needs
for one of the trials, because one of the trials is working together to escape something. She's offered a teammate by Rain, who walks up to her and was like, "Hey, you should join me and my friend
Misha. Icon. I lived for her."
Mm-hmm. No, there was one beforehand. I just remembered what the trial was. I just remembered it.
Oh my God, you're supposed to be the one with the good memory.
I'm so tired right now.
I know, sorry.
Yeah, the first one is just they're kind of dropped into a pit randomly out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
And they fight these demons, which turn out to be vampires that have gone crazy.
Oh,
they're fighting them, doing their whole thing.
Demons.
She figures out how to kill them, and she tells. Oh, because Rain was in the same pit as her, so she tells him how to kill him, and he figures it out and does it, and then he signals to Mish as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Misha. Sorry, not Mish.
Mish.
Who's Mish? Misha's from something.
Misha,
and then Misha is like wielding fire and does that too.
Yeah.
So that's done. They do all that, and then that's when Rain walks up and is like, "Hey, you're pretty good. Do you want to join our team for this one trial?" And she's like, "No, I'm an individual.
Yeah.
You will not.
I'm an independent human." Which honestly, how is this human girl competing with all of these? Well, I guess
I look over it.
It just kind of, I'm like a little bit like, how is this human girl still alive? You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of the math ain't mathing, but I think maybe that's going to be the point.
Yeah.
You know?
She gets attacked in the greenhouse a little bit later, and you find out, oh, she really shouldn't be alive.
Yeah.
Because she kind of gets bodied really quickly, thrown around, barely escapes, and then makes it up to Rain and Misha's apartment that they're staying at in this palace. And it's like, I'll take you up on that offer. And he's like, yeah, I bet you will.
Yeah.
So then they heal her. And the next trial is...
when they're buddies.
Yeah. They're buddies, but they're not working together on this one. They're just
Yeah.
planning for it because everyone's kind of paired up at this point.
Yeah. You know, it's like the alliances in the Hunger Games. The same thing.
And this next one is a maze. There was this guy that we didn't mention earlier called Ibrahim.
Oh,
who
right.
is kind of her friend, or they've like grown up as acquaintances because they were both young. He has been crippled by his family because
Very
he had
sad.
potential to overthrow them.
Yeah.
So they broke his legs, clipped his wings, ripped out his fangs,
Yeah.
and really just kind of hobbled this poor kid up.
I know, it's sad.
And he's competing for the chance to like heal himself and gain all that power back.
Yeah.
So they're in the maze and they run into each other and they find out they have to beat each other to like make it through because someone has to be stuck.
It's like in National Treasure when like someone needs to stay on the thing in order for the wall to open.
Yes, exactly. There's like a little lever that's got to be pushed down on the floor.
But someone's going to be left behind.
Fight, they go crazy. She stabs Ibrahim and kind of leaves him choking there on his own blood. And before she walks away, she's like, I should probably kill him so that he doesn't have to live and suffer even more.
Yeah.
Right as she goes to do it, everything gets like twisted around again and she's somewhere new.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, all right, guess I'm not killing him.
Yeah.
Cool. They run on through. She sees humans being used as distractions in the maze, like being ripped apart by some of the vampires who are really hungry because they haven't been given food for a while.
Send them into a frenzy, like bloodlust thing.
And so she grabs this little girl and runs. Her dad is watching the whole time too. Vincent is in the crowds because they're surrounded in a stadium.
Yeah.
And his dad's like, Miss Girl, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Go.
It's crazy of him to send her in that.
Well, I mean,
it's crazy.
I was actually okay with it. They were trying to do this thing a little bit later, which we can get to, where it's like, he's not really that good of a guy.
Right. There's something off
he's kind of
about him.
just letting her do what she wants to do. If she decides that she wants to enter this tournament, he didn't stop her from doing it. It was nothing like that.
Yeah.
Like, I was never sold on Vincent being a good guy. He's the king of a bunch of bloodthirsty monsters.
I mean, true.
He's gonna have done bad things.
But the whole time he's like, oh, I love my daughter. I love my daughter. Why would you throw her in that then?
He didn't. She wanted
Why
to
would
do
you
it.
let her though?
Because it's her choice. And like that's
I
why I
think it's
respected it.
wild.
I was like, all right, yeah, she's 23. She can do what she wants to do.
I mean, work, but he
gave her the tools necessary to survive.
When he like had a tear coming down, I'm like, ugh, save it. Save it.
Oh, we had two completely different takes of this book. I was like, I just was kind of bored with everyone, I guess.
Yeah.
So they make it through the maze, and she kind of collapses because Miss Girl just keeps getting hurt. She cannot catch a break. She's getting cut up, thrown down.
She's just a fragile human after all.
Just a little girl.
She's just a little girl.
She's so tiny and small, and he's so big and strong and rippling muscles. And oh my gosh,
I'm
he's
so sick of it.
Sweaty. Okay.
Oh,
I might have added that part. They make it through that one, and she asks Rain what he did with the human because she passed the kid on to him while she was busy fighting something off, and he took the human. And he finds out that he took her to an orphanage nearby, and he's like, yeah, no, I remember what it was like when I was human. And she's like, what? You weren't born a vampire? And he's like, yeah, 200 years ago.
Born and then turned. He was turned. He's got the Edward Cullen edit. It's true. He's like, oh, those poor. I was a human. I kind of missed my humanity. Now I'm this monster.
And like, he's still kind of like vibing. Like he hides his wings and goes drinking in bars and everything.
Yeah, he likes to hang out with the humans.
It's a good time.
And she's kind of like, and so they're like, they go to the orphanage. They like look at the kid, like, oh, she's good. He's like, how about we go get a drink at this bar? And she's like,
shitty piss beer.
Literally. And she's like, that's kind of crazy. Like, you are a monster. You'll probably kill all these humans. He's like, I won't. Trust me. Yeah. And so they go on a kind of a little date.
A little date there. And she's never felt comfortable around humans because she grew up with vampires. So she feels kind of other to them. And
other in both communities.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden they hear an explosion while they're drinking there.
Yes.
Somebody is blowing up this palace here. Whoa, their moon palace. That's where they have their tournament. They fly on over there because he has wings. So he picks her up and flies her. And she's never let anyone do that before. And she's like scared, but she trusted him enough. Something about
After they
him.
bonded at the bar.
Gosh, whoa, you can pick me up in your massive muscles, press me up against your
It's a good thing I'm so dainty.
buff chest. Oh my gosh, press me into it.
Yes.
Oh, that's me with Manon.
You're getting picked up by
I'm getting
Manon.
No, I'm gonna say Manon now just to piss
Please
off the French people out there.
Oh gosh.
And they fly her over. Oh my god, their apartment, their exact spot is on fire with hellfire or night fire, whatever it was called. Some type of blue eerie fire that's not correct.
Yeah. That is not correct.
That's not normal fire because it doesn't burn, it just kind of destroys. And they find their girl Misha, who was there. She was like super little nice ray of sunshine. And they're like, Misha, you gotta be alive. Demons are attacking. They're like, oh no, get Misha out of here. I'll hold them off. So Rain takes her and flies her down. And Miss Araya channels her magic kind of for the first time effectively.
She has magic because of course she does.
And then is like using the night fire and she's wielding it, burning away the demons. And then Rain comes and finds her. And then they get out and they see Vincent, the dad, flying over with his army, and like he declares war on the Rishan, which are the other pact of vampires.
Yeah.
Which Rain is a Rishan.
Rain is part of that.
Yeah.
Rain and Misha are both.
So Hiyaj versus Rishan. Bat wings, bird wings. Think of it like that.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, bat wings versus angel wings.
Oh, okay. That's wild. But yeah, so drama really starts. The political drama starts to unfold.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm gonna kill all those
dirty Rishans.
Yeah. And Miss Girl's kind of like,
well, don't kill my partner because I need him for the tournament and he's got abs.
He's
hot. And Daddy, please, come on.
Yeah, don't kill my guy.
Don't kill him because I need him. He's like, all right, I won't kill him. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I am gonna torture him for information.
Yeah.
So all the Rishan that are in the tournament, because you can't stop them from being in the tournament.
Yeah.
Because it's like the goddess has decreed.
Right. There's no stopping this train. So he's like, okay, bring me all the Rishan. I'm gonna have a conversation.
And they do. They do. And then it's time for the next round in the tournament.
Yeah.
Misha is out of it for now.
She's not doing okay.
Yeah.
I thought she was dead. I was scared.
Araya goes to the Pope essentially and is like, if you should let my friend Misha out. And the Pope's like, no. And then she's like, you can drink my blood. And the Pope's like, okay.
Yeah. That was kind of crazy.
It was written way better than that, but that's the main points of
I was like, oh, you're just gonna she was like, here you go.
So the vampire Pope drinks your blood.
I feel like this book, something about it is I kind of would forget it's vampires because it gives so like ACOTAR, like fairy fae moments. Yeah. But I was like, oh yeah, they're literally vampires.
They kind of catch up to that at the end there with a lot more blood sucking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I was kind of detached from this book for the most part, is that like...
You were like, I want vampires?
I want to like see this world more. Like we're not really getting to experience too much of it.
I get what you're saying.
But like, I'll read the second one now that I know it exists.
Yeah.
And so they do their next tournament, which is them being locked in cages, having to break out, and they're mind bonded with each other so they can feel and move as each other does. That's why this teammate thing had to happen.
Yeah.
So she feels just how fucked up Rain is now from all the torturing he endured.
What her dad
She's
did.
like mad at dad, like, hold on a second. That was way more than anything.
She's kind of like, is he who I think he is? Like her dad. She's kind of like, there's something shady
My
here.
dad keeps like not being a nice person.
Yeah.
Hold on. And that's where I was like, Araya, you feel kind of stupid. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I was sitting there.
Is that when you texted me? Araya's kind of dumb.
Yeah, because I texted her because I was reading a part where she's like coming to terms with like that her dad is like kind of doing things that aren't for the good of all and like humanity. I'm like, you are food.
Yeah.
I thought you would be aware of this and like you
are food.
He's trying to make their lives like as nice as possible, and I was on Vincent's side for that. Of like, yeah, that makes sense just for efficiency's sake.
Yeah.
Whatever, but Araya's sitting here like, you don't want to save all the humans? He's like, no.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
We're eating them.
Yeah. Wild. Anyways,
they're
mind
together,
bonded. It's a whole thing. I thought that sequence was very cool.
Ibrahim is still alive, by the way, guys.
Yeah, but he's struggling. He's going through
He is putting in the work right now. Overtime, rent is due.
Rent is due. It's
and he makes it through that trial as well with Araya, and so does Rain. But they get on out, and so Araya's kind of pissed off right now, so she goes to yell at her dad, which is something that she never really does because it's not a safe moment.
Yeah, and they have like they'll have like designated meeting times of like just like meet me here
right before sunrise.
Yeah,
and they'll do a quick.
But she doesn't really get call on him; he calls on her.
Yeah, well, he's the king.
Exactly.
She runs into the palace while he's in a war meeting, and nope, that's later. Sorry, my bad. That was a later one. It's a later one. Never mind. So hold on to that part for a second. It all just blends together. It's so repetitive. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm really fighting the urge to like just kind of like start trash talking this book because I enjoyed it at the end, but like the entire time up to it, I was like,
yeah. I mean, we don't have to go over the repetitive parts.
Blah blah blah. Another trial. More sitting there. Okay, he cooks for her.
Yeah, that was cute.
That's kind of. I was kind of rolling my eyes at that. I was just like, of course, he's a good cook, too. Man, I'm just jealous of this man.
I think you are. You have some animosity against Ray.
I wish he was me.
Whoa!
I wish I was him. Wait, how does it work? Anyway. He cooks for her, and she's like, oh, my God, fuck, it tastes good. Whoa.
Whatever. I did not like that.
You didn't like that?
No!
Okay, so we cooked for her.
And he said something very flirty.
What did he say?
Remember?
I don't
know. I don't want to say it.
Say it.
He's like he's like I wanted.
Yes. Not how I imagined the first time making you come.
Oh God, you said it. Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not how I imagined the first time I'd make you blah blah blah.
He said it again.
And then they both kind of look awake because of the implication that he's imagined it before.
Right. Because of course.
Of course, yes. As one does.
Well, yes.
And they take the food to Misha, who's like in a nice little cottage by the sea or something with some other Rishan.
She's healing.
Individuals. She's in bed, and they're like, we brought you soup. The other two people who own the cabin are looking at Araya like, we want to kill her.
Like, that's our food. That's your food, that's our food.
No, she's Vincent's daughter. We her to send a message, and Raina's like, no, we don't.
Yeah.
That's what I said, and they all listened to him very quickly, like respectfully and everything. And they're like,
whoa,
yeah,
high foreshadow.
That was the only foreshadowing the entire book.
Yeah, that's what we missed.
And they fly on back. They get there, and then the next trial starts, and they wake up in like this evil fog everywhere in cages, and they break out of the cages. They look around like, hold on, what's happening out here?
Where are we?
Let's see. Can't seem to figure out. And then she realizes, because technically like their partnership is over, but they haven't killed each other yet. And they realize they're not going to be doing that. There are they starved out the contestants for about a week beforehand. And there's this moment where they're kind of staying in their apartment together. They found a new one. And they're kind of looking around, and Araya's like, do you have enough blood to make it through this time? He's like, yeah, I do. And then she quickly realizes he's been out for a while, and he's kind of losing it. And she's had a very bad experience with this before. And I like this part about the book.
The whole time there's like flashbacks, and you're not really understanding what's going on.
The one time she let her guard down around someone.
Yes.
And so she tells him that he has to leave. And he's like, you don't trust me? And she's like, it's not a matter of trust. It's your nature. It's what you are. You are a bloodthirsty monster when you don't have control. He's like, I've never blah, blah, blah before. But he leaves like kind of pissed off about it. And she's upset about it. Like, maybe I should have trusted him. And then, when the event starts, all the vampires are kind of going blood crazy. And they're drinking all the animals that have been poisoned. The animal's blood is poisoned.
Yeah, drama.
Dying from it. So she books it to find Rain. That's the first thing she can think of, even though she should be working on saving her own
herself.
Ass,
Nope.
The challenge is over. Why are you
after her man?
Why are you, as a woman, worried about another man?
Because he's hot.
He's hot. He's tall. Hot. How tall is he? He's like 6.5 feet.
I don't remember them saying, but
he's 6.5 feet. She's 4.5 feet. 4'11" or something.
Probably.
Just something where it's like a good. Yeah. You have to see your chiropractor if you want to look up at this guy.
Well, yeah.
If you're her. And she saves him when he's attacking, and they hide in a cave while this poison fog is like kind of burning everything away too.
Yeah.
And
it's giving Hunger Games with the fog.
Oh yeah,
This part really gave me Hunger Games vibes because the fog would happen in like increments.
Yeah, it was
and they
very
would like
timed.
Yeah, they would like fly with this cape between the. I was like, this is literally Hunger Games. It's catching fire.
It is catching fire.
Yeah, I see where you got that, girl.
Catching night fire.
Oh, ayo.
Special fire. Okay, that was a bad.
You tried.
I'm trying. I'm trying too hard now. I think that's the issue.
Yeah, that's okay.
have so many millions of fans that have to hear me now.
Oh my. Ignore
I'm a big
him.
deal. Yeah. So they go and hide in a cave together.
They do.
And this is a very special cave because the fog can't get in there. And Rain really needs some blood. Oh boy, this guy's he's not going to make it. And she's like, you can drink my blood.
Yes.
And so, of course, she straddles him.
Well,
of course, because she justifies this by like, oh, he's letting me do this so that I can stay in control.
Yeah,
and he puts her dagger in her hand and puts it against his chest and it's like, if I lose control, you can stab me. And it's like, okay.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, this was I was like,
you're like, yeah, okay.
I'm feeling it, Rain. All right.
Yeah.
I see the hype now.
Well, yes.
And he starts drinking her blood, and this was something that I laughed out loud to because, of course, is when they're like, vampire venom. It's a bit of a drug. It kind of sedates you to make you more compliant to
in certain ways, but more so in a way where you're like,
It's also an aphrodisiac.
Yeah,
because of course it is.
Which I'm like, is this you just justifying vampires being sexy? But like,
yeah. I was sitting there like, of course, getting your blood drinking turns you on because of course it does. Yeah. Why wouldn't it? Of course.
She's like,
she's kind of sitting there like,
and she's like, kind of
does a little bit of a side to side. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
remember she's straddling him. She drinks. She
gets her bag.
She gets her bag. While he's drinking, and then was like, we could keep going. And he's like, you've just lost a lot of blood.
He's like, go to bed, girl.
And she's like, okay. And she snuggles on up against him. And I don't know why, but like the way it's described, it's like she's the size of a kitten.
Yeah,
like, for anyone watching right now, just like going up there. And it's like, she's like this big up against him. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's wild.
If you know what's coming in a later chapter, I'm concerned for your safety, Miss Girl, your poor cervix.
It's great. Oh my God. It's crazy.
They sleep through a little bit and she wakes up and they're like, all right, we got to go. They find out the poison comes in increments. So she takes this special cloak from one of the other dead vampires and it's like, all right, let's cover up and we go. And once again, she's like cradled up like this.
Dainty.
They book it on down. They stop, hide, book it on down. They fly in
increments.
And they figure out they are in the ruins of the Rishan capital, I think, or like a Rishan city.
Yeah.
So the vampires that have been oppressed, I don't know.
The ones who Vincent
aren't in power.
Yeah.
Their whole city was eradicated by Vincent and his armies.
Like just now. Like right before.
Like a week or so.
Yeah, but no one had any idea.
Yeah, nobody knew.
Yeah.
So they're sitting there. Rain is like visibly like shaken by it.
Yeah,
this is where wild.
Yeah.
Then they make it on through. They book it to the exit gateway where the Pope is waiting. They fight with another vampire who's a bloodborne. They basically bloodbend.
Yeah.
That's the vibe that I got from them.
Yeah, it was
bloodbenders. They fight. They kill this bloodbender's partner.
Yeah.
And they book it on into
more gore.
Stay Alive. Yeah. Great fight scene.
It was really good.
I like this part. This is where I kind of like started liking the book again.
Right.
So now I'm all of a sudden going to be way more invested in talking about things.
Yeah.
So Miss Girl, this is what I was saying earlier. She is upset and she books it to Daddy's house like, I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. I'm upset. Yeah. She gets on in there, talks to his general, who's just like, well, he's in a meeting. And she's like, well, you need to go tell him that I want to talk. And the general's kind of like, she thinks, okay, does this girl as my king's daughter outrank me?
Yeah, it's a whole like,
I don't want this fight right now.
Yeah.
And so she goes and does Vincent. It. And Vincent comes in like, he's visibly happy, like, oh, you're alive. Great. Because I was so busy with the war, I didn't have a chance to see this trial. Are you okay? And she's like, you destroyed the city? And he's like, well, yeah, it's war. What do you mean? I'm glad you're okay. Are you ready for like the next trial? And he's like trying to like divert the attention.
And she's like, no.
Kind of like, blah, blah, blah. All the humans in there too. You killed them all. He's like, well, yes.
And wasn't that where her family could have been? Or no? There was something about her.
Yes, I think her family was there. That's right.
Yeah, and so she's like, I can't even go find my family. And he's like, you don't have any family. It's just me.
I went and looked and like no one was there.
No one's looking for you, Araya. I was like, oh.
Because I mean, like, that's when I texted you, like, she's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Because in this moment, she's sitting there like, what if I had been there? And he's like, you were never going to be one of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think there's, for those of you who read the second one, there's probably some
I know. Well, we're probably
second meaning right there. But I was just since
She's
I didn't know there was a second book.
Yeah, there's some other something else going on.
Something else going on
with
there.
her.
But
she's like, ugh, she's pissed.
She's different. She's not like other girls, is what he's basically saying.
Yeah.
And she's stands up against him and is like, no, I won't stand for this. And he is not a guy that you can challenge simply because his rule is so like fragile. Because if anyone sees any weakness from him, they'll try to kill him to take over. So he quickly becomes the king version of himself instead of the dad version. And gets very aggressive,
and
kind
she
of like
gets
throwing
very
her up
scared
against the wall.
Yeah.
Being like, because like she basically challenged him in front of people, and that can't happen ever. And so he quickly gains control again and is like, oh shit, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And then, Araya apologizes, is like, I'm sorry, blah, 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 sorry, dad. Okay, I'm out of here. And that's the one moment where I was like, Vincent,
Spooky.
Baby, that wasn't it.
No. It's gnarly.
Bad dad.
Bad dad vibes.
They move on back.
Yeah, what next?
She starts killing off a bunch of.
Oh yeah, she goes to blow off some steam, killing some vampires.
As Batman once again, they've been kind of going out in droves since she hasn't been able to go out there and kill him and like remind him Batman's out there.
Yeah.
Little spotlight in the sky.
Mm-hmm. She goes out there, she's doing her thing.
She's killing him, and then Rain finds her and is like,
yeah,
hey, what you up to? She's like, killing people, and he's like, I can see that. And then they kind of get really close to each other, and ... and then,
they're like, let's relocate.
And they're like, not in an alleyway.
Yeah, let's go somewhere else.
They fly on back to
their little apartment.
Right there.
One thing leads to another. I was just like Draco Malfoy and the Mortifying Ordeal and Being in Love. This took me by surprise.
I mean, I knew it was going to be happening if like
I knew it was going to be happening.
Reviewing it.
Yeah, but I just was like, yo, this is kind of wild.
Just once again, that size difference just had me like looking about like, okay, hold on. How big is she right now compared to this man that she has to like?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Her brain like has to start pre-processing like, how is this gonna work?
Right. No, it was kind of crazy. But I kind of don't get it twisted. I was, I did enjoy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I was like, okay.
It was a good time. The only thing that I didn't enjoy about it was that it's the night before the final trial where they will have to kill each other because it's the finals. And I was
they're like, it's our last night together before one of us has to die.
Day. They're like, and I'm like, you're not even gonna get like 2 hours of sleep, like
no. They're like, we'd rather not waste our time.
Like literally, like they just fought to death in like the acid blood and everything like that.
Yeah, I'm like y'all, your bodies
she
must
got
be
yelled at by her dad.
Mm-hmm. Well, they blew off Steve
7
in some
rounds
way.
later.
Yeah,
they're like, crazy. Let's go for 8, and it's like, no.
They're like, no, we shouldn't. We shouldn't.
Let's take a little nap, a little bit, and they do, and then they move on to the next challenge. I can't remember if they say that they love each other.
I don't think so.
I don't think they do.
But it's kind of implied, but I don't think so.
It's really there. She struggles saying that, there's a talk about she had her first time with another vampire years ago who ended up losing control during it and going into a bloodlust.
Biting her, and so she has this like thing on her neck. It's a whole thing. So she doesn't trust people, and it's trauma. So valid, girl. But, she trusts Rain. That's the big thing. I trust Rain.
Mm-hmm.
She trusts him.
Got to trust him, yeah. Trust and...
It's the big thing. She gets over her trust issues and trusts Rain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And this is why I have trust issues. So they do the final challenge. They all face each other. Ibrahim made it to the finals. Araya finally kills him. And it's kind of like, that's a bummer.
That Angelica bitch.
Rain and Angelica, the bloodbender, they're fighting. Angelica's about to kill Araya, but then Rain manages to kill her.
Yeah.
They look at each other and they fight. They're going. And then, Araya manages to stab Rain, and she realizes he was holding back and like goading her to try harder so that she would end up killing him.
Yeah, there's like something fishy going on.
Because they both have wishes that need to be completed.
Yeah.
And so the goddess Nyaxia shows up and is like...
because Rain's dead. She kills Rain.
Mm-hmm, and she's sobbing, sad.
Which gagged me. I texted you. I was like, what?
Yeah, and right when you did that, I was like, all right, buckle up.
Yeah, no, that's what he said.
This is where I started
This is what I was... I
was like, okay, all right, so...
It went from a cute little LOL, like, predictable moment to, what the fuck?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so the goddess shows up and is like, all right, what's your wish? And Vincent shows up and is like, well, this is my daughter. I offer her up to you, like, as, your champion. But she's like, you go, girl.
Yeah, Miss Girl doesn't wish what she's supposed to wish.
And she's like, I wish that Rain had won.
Had won!
And she's like, hey, I know what it's like to lose something you love. Just so you know, it's sometimes better to let that love be a hole in your heart. And because, Nyax lost her god lover or something.
Yeah, something drama there.
Yeah, I guess we'll read the novella. All right.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, I wish Rain won.
So grants the wish. Rain is like,
he's alive. He's like,
alive.
Wasn't I just dead?
Interesting.
And Nyax is like, what's your wish? And he's like, oh, I wish for the Rashan bloodline to get their power back and for the heir to be restored to its rightful power. And Vincent's there like,
he's freaking out.
Fuck. Oriah, what did you do? And then Rain spreads his wings and starts glowing, and his heir mark, which is like something that like the heirs all have.
Yeah, like a tattoo of a sword or something.
He's the king of the Rashan people.
He's the king!
And Oriah's like, what?
And it's like, you guys, drama.
Oh my gosh, I was sitting at like 2 a.m. reading like,
I was driving home from a spin class last night listening to it, and I was like,
crash your car.
No, I was like, oh my, I had so much endorphins. I was like, it's crazy.
Every car needs to speed up right now.
Yes.
They're not gonna like what happens.
I was freaking out.
So Vincent and Rain fight. Oriah's trying to get to Vincent to like, no, I have to help my dad. Rain lied to me. Something's going on here. Whoa. The blood-born vampires are attacking now too because there's an alliance with the Rashan.
Yes.
Take over. And she's like, oh my God, he was planning this. What?
Yeah.
And, all of a sudden, Vincent goes down. He's been stabbed. He can't beat Rain. No. Tragic. And as he's sitting there dying, Oriah gets to him and he's like, I'm sorry that something.
Yeah. Sorry, girl.
I wanted to show you so much more, blah, blah, blah. You were the one thing I won't regret or something.
Yeah.
And then he's like said that he loved her in like the way that he does.
Yeah. And Oriah's like,
he dies and everyone's screaming and running and
chaos.
The Rashan are like kind of dragging her away, and then all of a sudden everyone stops and Rain stops and they look at her and she has an heir mark. She is Vincent's heir to the Nightborn throne.
What?
Oh my goodness, what is going on here? She's not a vampire though, so they're all like, well, we have to kill her. And Rain's like, no, stop.
This scared me.
The second that we kill her, the heir will be passed on to someone else. We don't know who that will be.
Yeah.
As long as she's alive, she can be our prisoner.
Yeah.
I'll make her my wife. And Oriah sitting there like,
he's like, I'll enslave her, but it's like scary.
It's like
Rain
scary
is giving
wording.
Rain is giving like really spooky, like complete 180 from what we've known.
I mean, I thought that he was just putting on an act for everyone, to be honest. Yeah.
At the same time, I'm like, he's going really far with it. Like he said something really fucked up.
Yeah,
like,
he said some very trigger warning words.
Yeah.
About
what he would
do to her. Yeah.
Yes. And so I was like, what? And she's like, huh?
And she's like, what?
No, I was gagged.
And so they take her to the palace and knock her out. And she's back in the place where she grew up, essentially.
Yeah, her bed, like teenage bedroom.
There's screaming and death all in the streets of the city below while, there's a coup happening. It's a revolution.
Wild.
They've overthrown the king. And they're doing this thing. Rain walks in like, hey. How's it going?
Yeah.
She's like, you lied to me. And he's like, I just didn't tell you everything.
Yeah, he's like, I just admitted the truth.
I do support his argument of like, for what it's worth, I did let you kill me.
I mean,
why didn't you do your wish?
He was like, that's true.
I gave up on what I was going to do so that you could live.
He's like, I kind of sacrificed myself.
So it's like, win-win, I guess.
Kind of on you, girl, a little bit.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
He's like, because everything about her told him that that she was going to wish for her own power and survival because that's all she's been taught to do. It's all she's had to do for her life is she's been weak and she didn't want to be weak anymore. And that was her whole point doing this. So he was like, why did you wish me back to life?
I know. He's like, I have to do what I have to do.
And so like he had to finish up his end of something.
Yeah.
Which is to save his people. And he had formed an alliance and made deals with the Bloodborne.
Yeah. And he says stuff about Vincent. And she's like, I don't want to believe that. He's my dad. And he's like, well, regardless, he did all this stuff.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
He murdered the other royal family.
Yeah. He's not who you think he is.
Did some things to the royal family's queen.
Yeah, and she like doesn't want to hear it, but she's like, well, okay. Yeah. And then he's like, well, we got to go get married.
And she's like, I'm not marrying you. He's like, it's that or die pretty much.
Yeah.
They're going to want to kill you. And they aren't really respecting my rule with this right now.
Right.
Because, he's still a fresh ruler. He's
what has to happen
as well. He's not a born vampire. So, discrimination has to happen no matter where you are. Because of course it does. they move on. They get married very quickly, and she like doesn't say all the vows. She's like, "Do you promise to like love and cherish him?" She's like, and he's just like, she doesn't have to say that part.
Yeah, that was kind of silly.
It's okay. She can just say like the legally binding.
Yeah.
And they get married. They drink each other's blood. And this was kind of weird too, where she was like, "Fuck, his blood tastes great."
I know. She's like, "Oh, actually,
I just don't like blood play. I guess that's just something that I'm just like, okay.
They're vampires.
She's not.
She's not.
She might be half or something though. They figure out
weird.
like at the end of it, it's like she might be not just human because this has never happened. Where she's the heir and like in charge of all the Hiaj vampires, which are Nightborn. So she gets married, and then Rain's like, I have to go. And she's like, well, you weren't going to be spending the night if that's what you thought was going to be happening. Like, it's not, no happy ending for you, mister.
We're done, sir.
We're out of here. And he's like, are you going to kill me? And this was a cute thing that they were doing where she was like, not today. And she says, not today, because she's not going to today, but I think it's on the table again.
I think, she's not going to kill him.
So she's sitting there alone when the general of her dad's army shows up at the window and was like, psst, hey, what's the plan? She's like, what do you mean? And she like gestures to like, her royal mark, her air mark, and is like, you're kind of in charge. My loyalty is to the leader of the Hiaj, and that's you for better or for worse. What's the plan? She's like, get everyone out that you can right now. We're not gonna attack. There's no point in people dying for something that we've already lost. Just pull back. And the general's like, word, and then gets on out of there. She's like, await further instructions, essentially.
Yeah.
Because she is bad bitch in charge now.
She is!
That's why I'm excited for book 2.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I can't wait for like next year for it to come out.
No, it's already out.
It's already out. But I wish I would have read it in the time that like we were doing this.
I know.
So I could be like, I know everything, guys.
Oh, I live.
There's one thing I want to do is know it all.
Well, I mean, that is very you.
How am I supposed to mansplain it if I don't know? Well, actually,
I still managed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it all. All right. So in book 2, which I haven't read yet, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, so wait, you said that there's a trope that you could discover that you love. What is it?
This book made me realize something about myself. My favorite tropes are, very, very generic ones of enemies to lovers, forced proximity, fake dating, or something like that. But I think what I love more than enemies to lovers to enemies.
Oh!
That's kind of given even more.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I assume it's going to be lovers to enemies to lovers again.
I want them to keep hating each other.
You do?
I want her to find some other sexy vampire out there.
Wow.
Yeah. Or just be a bad bitch on her own.
I mean, that's true. That's valid. But these things usually go back.
Same way with like Tamlin and Feyre, where it's like lovers to enemies. Great times with that. I love betrayal.
Oh my God, that's a little scary.
I just love it. I'm loving it so much when it's just like ... He was lying to you the whole time. Okay, I'm listening.
Listen, this book had me gagged because, like we've said before, the whole time I was like, oh no, okay. There's kind of a lot of copy paste from other things, like him with his humanity that's so Edward Cullen coded, and then there's like the fourth thing, she's so small, and like just kind of all of the same.
I'm a little tiny bean.
All of the same romantic stuff that keeps happening, which, like I said, is entertaining because it's kind of just like eating candy, and you're like, okay, I'm enjoying my time, but I'm not. My mind isn't blown. I really was kind of shocked by the ending of this.
And that's like one of the telltale signs of like something like good writing, I think, is like when they do that one thing that like makes it stand out and unique and like keeps you invested.
I mean, she definitely did like a bait and switch.
You can do one thing with it. Like the one thing that I liked about it was a good thing. So that's why I will rate this book and like recommend it. Like, yeah, it's worth the read.
Yeah, it is the beginning. You're like, I've read this before.
It's like, I've been here, done that.
Yeah.
So that's why I will give the kudos for gagging me for that one brief.
I know. Good job, Carissa Broadbent.
Good
You
job.
ate with that.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you guys. So obviously for this one, we talked about just the first book in the series. I knew there was many books. He did not. For future, when we're doing like series, do you want us to just do the full series, or do you want us to do this like split up in different books and maybe do multiple episodes on this? Like what? Just let us know what you guys would like, because we're still trying to figure this out.
Yeah, we're trying to see.
And a lot of these big popular books that we have been recommended and people have suggested are in series, and so I'm just like,
I know that for our next one which is going to be Crescent City 3, House of Shadow and Flame. that will be its standalone.
Yes.
But if we wanted to do like a full, like just ACOTAR in general or something like that, because I'm pretty sure this year ACOTAR 5 is coming out or 6.
Isn't she supposedly going to release 7 titles this year?
That's what Bloomsbury said, or I think they just signed her for 7 titles.
Okay, that would be wild. That bitch is like,
we gotta do more episodes, guys.
I know, right? I know. Maybe we'll have to do it weekly once that starts happening.
We can get to that point, guys. That's up to you, though, if we're gonna be doing more.
I know. So yeah, let us know what you think. Because I would love to do more of even just this book. I'd love to read the second one and see what we think. Especially now that it's like so fun.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah. Well, this, but I also just meant the book. Like it took such a turn, and the second book just seems like it's gonna be so much more wild than the first one.
Yeah, it's gonna be the opposite. Everyone keeps recommending that we do Fourth Wing as well, so I think we'll have to add that to the list.
We've both read Fourth Wing.
So I think it's just the plight of rereading it for the sake of us.
What's
going on.
I also have heard such negative things, honestly, about Iron Flame.
Yeah, you haven't read that one yet. That's right.
No, I haven't. I have it, but I haven't.
On that note, we're gonna take a little tangent right now because we still have some time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that this was like the opposite of what Fourth Wing and Iron Flame was for me, probably, because I think I'm gonna like the second one a lot more than this first one.
I think so too.
Meanwhile, Fourth Wing, I really enjoyed the first one. The second one, I didn't like Iron Flame that much, guys. Like, don't be wrong. I read it in 2 days. That being said, that's
impressive. Though I probably couldn't.
Yeah.
Read it in 2 days.
So
I'm scared.
I'll be excited to do Fourth Wing when the time comes for that. We have a list of other things that we're doing in the meantime, I think.
Yeah. So next is going to be Crescent City 3, obviously. So excited.
Do a 2-hour special.
It's gonna be crazy. And then I think we're gonna do another Dramione because y'all live for the Dramione.
We love the Dramione. You guys love it. We love it. And so, should we say what the next Dramione we're doing is?
Sure, maybe to get because it's gonna be kind of crazy.
It's gonna be a crazy week for us getting ready for everything. So our next Dramione that we'll be doing is Breath Mints and Battle Scars. Great little
excited
fanfic of enemies to lovers. Yep, they go to Hogwarts.
You've read it.
I've read it, and I'm rereading it right now. Just getting ready for it.
I'll start tonight.
But we are going to binge through House of Flame and Shadow for you guys and get it to you promptly for our next
on Valentine's Day.
Is it on Valentine's Day that comes out? That's probably the best Valentine's Day gift that we can give you guys.
Yes, it is. And it's also just kind of fun because we do a lot of like romance and stuff. So it's like
romantasy.
It's funny how that ended up.
Let's see if Hunt and Bryce
I'm so scared. I'm so scared for Rune.
Oh my God, you haven't finished
it.
Well, you read the prologue.
I read the prologue.
Okay, so
I read the prologue. I'm halfway through the first chapter.
Get on it, all right? And you got to start reading right now. We don't have time.
You guys, I forgot. Potential spoiler for Crescent City 2. I forgot that Rune and Rhysand look alike.
They do, yeah.
I forgot. I'm scared. You guys, I'm so excited.
I'm so pumped.
Anyways, let us know your thoughts on everything we asked you. Also, follow us on TikTok and Instagram.
At the Smut Couch Podcast.
Yes. Tell your friends. Comment. Love ya.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming on by again.
Thank you.
The Wings of Night.
Yeah.
Read it.
You ate, Carissa. Okay. Bye.